Hey YouTube, the Ish9 here. Wanted to have a quick discussion video with you to see how you guys like to consume your content. Just got back from Best Buy, got myself a Blu-ray 4K player, and I also got myself the limited edition The Hobbit trilogy. It has the Steelbook box set collections that Best Buy is known for. And I noticed that their selection for movies is starting to kind of dwindle a little bit. They had maybe one aisle and then like a few small stands set up around the store. There was one right when you walk in, and then there was one in the television section. And I spoke to the guy, and he just said, you know, it's kind of dwindling down a little bit. We downsized our physical media area, and as you know, a few years ago they got rid of the physical CDs. But myself, I am someone who likes to consume physical content. I'm a big anime fan, and one of the things that kind of eluded me as a kid was being able to get certain anime titles here in the States that now has become very easily due to streaming, and also due to re-releases and studios changing hands and putting out more physical content, and as well as upscaling a lot of that content to Blu-ray 1080p. So you got 80s classics coming out in full HD. Color is extremely accurate, and the contrast is very, very well done. Same thing with a lot of physical content for 4K. I just went into Best Buy and they had Blade in 4K, Total Recall from the 80s. I believe it came out in the 80s with Arnold Schwarzenegger in 4K. And those are things I'm highly interested in. I'm not sure if anyone else necessarily cares whether or not it's in, you know, HD, 1080p, or 4K. But for me, if you can get, you know, a better standard or a higher quality, why wouldn't you, you know? And it's the same way with music for me. Music, for the most part, back in the day when you were streaming music, it was extremely low quality. It was uncontrolled bit rates, and you couldn't really tell what you were getting until you listened to it. So the best way to go was physical content, because CD quality, 16-bit, 44.1 kilohertz, you know it, you trust it, it's consistent, and it always sounds good. So now you can get higher qualities in streaming for music as well as for watching movies, but not everything. And I noticed that, you know, I looked on Google Play Movies, and I could not find The Hobbit in 4K. I didn't see that there. I picked up also the Justice League, the Zack Snyder version, also on 4K, and you know that went to HBO Max. I'm gonna see if I can maybe see a difference between the HBO Max representation and my new Sony player's representation of how it plays it back, and we'll see, you know, maybe if that might make a difference. But I do know that some players do have better representation or better color gamut than some other players do. A lot of people say the Panasonic 820 is the way to go, but that player is extremely expensive. I got this one here at a discount, and I think it will pair well with my Sony 4K TV, so I went ahead and got it. It's not something that I'm going to be purchasing a lot often like I do with my headphones or my phones or anything like that. It's going to be a one-time purchase, and I'm going to ride it out till it burns out. But I have noticed that there are some titles that you can't get in 4K digitally that you can get physically. And, you know, that kind of keeps me driven to continue my hunt for physical content and continue to gather up more physical content, and as well as just the ability of having something tangible in my hand still appeals to me. But there are many people that it doesn't really matter, you know, how they get the content, so long as they get the content and whatever quality they can get it in. But I kind of want to know you guys' thoughts on the issue or on the matter. I feel like physical content is going to stay for a long time. The collector is still there. I just saw they just did what was it, Star Trek, the original series, in 4K. That's something I'm extremely interested in. I'm sure a lot of fans of the series are interested in continuing to have better representations of the content that they like to watch, all the way back from, you know, when that series came out, late 60s, I believe, till now. To be able to continue to watch that series and have it keep up with current technologies is a plus. So how do you guys like to watch your movies? How do you guys like to listen to your music? I have gone digital myself in many aspects, but I still grab physical whenever I can and whenever it's something that I thoroughly like and thoroughly enjoy. It's kind of like, you know, going to the movie theater and watching a movie there and then coming home and going, you know, I still like that movie. I still want to have it a part of my collection, and, you know, maybe buying it digitally or buying a physical copy of that movie when it does come out or when it does air, just so I can have it around. You know, the internet is not foolproof. It's not always going to be there. It does go out on occasions, and sometimes your bandwidth isn't there. Having the physical copy of something means that you can always kind of watch it as long as you're stationary at home. You always have a copy of whatever content you thoroughly enjoy. And regardless if a service goes down or something's having an outage, you still got it. And that gives me a whole lot of security with my purchases. So I don't mind spending the additional funds, you know, maybe $2-3 more to get the physical copies. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but during COVID, everything kind of went up, especially on streaming. And streaming before, it was a little bit cheaper than physical. Now it's almost the exact same price. So are you continuing with just the digital variant of movies, whether it be through cable or through Amazon Prime or whatever the case may be, wherever you're renting from? Or are you willing to invest more in physical? Especially when they want you to rent movies or just flat out buy movies now, because they no longer allow you to rent some titles, especially newer titles. Now you got to buy it for like $20, $25. Would you just go get the physical if that's the case? Or are you content with maybe waiting for the title to come out on a streaming service, or just paying for it digitally? I really like to know you guys' opinions. Thank you very much for watching.